The Japan Dream, a new chapter for Filipino tourists. Anna stared at her laptop, the screen filled with beautiful pictures of cherry blossoms in Kyoto and tall buildings in Tokyo. She had dreamed of Japan for a long time. Now, in 2025, she was finally ready to make it happen. She saved money, planned her trip, and was ready to apply for a visa. But as she read travel blogs, a piece of news surprised her. Japan Visa Update 2025. Her excitement quickly turned to worry. What were the new rules? Would it be easier or harder for Filipinos like her to visit the land of the rising sun? Japan continues to be one of the favorite places for Filipinos to visit. Who wouldn't be amazed by their culture, food, and good manners? But because more and more tourists are coming, the Japanese government needed to make some changes. These updates are not to make things harder for us, but to make entering their country smoother, faster, and safer. For those who follow rules and are ready to cooperate, these changes might be good news. But for those who are not ready, this might stop their Japan dream. The changes are because of a record number of tourists visiting Japan. In April 2025 alone, they welcomed almost 4 million tourists. Because of this, they need to update their system. From how you apply for a visa to health rules and shopping, everything has some small changes. Japan's goal is simple: to welcome more tourists without lowering the quality of their service and safety. So, for Filipinos planning to travel, knowing these new rules is not just important, it's a must. Anna's story is the story of many of us, full of hope but with some worry. Traveling is a big investment, not just of money but also of time and dreams. That's why we need to prepare for every new requirement. The Japanese government has made it clear that their country is open to all responsible and respectful visitors. The new rules for 2025 are their way to make sure every visit is a good experience, not just for the tourist, but also for their people. Digital hope, strict rules, the Japan Visa and new health rules. One of the biggest pieces of news is the possible launch of the Japan Visa system for Filipinos. Imagine, no more thick papers to submit to the embassy. With the visa, you'll apply online. You'll just upload documents and pay through the internet. If approved, you'll get a digital visa issuance notice that you'll show at the airport. This is a big step towards a faster and more convenient process. For tech-savvy Filipinos, this is a welcome change that will reduce stress when applying for a visa. However, along with this good news comes a new requirement that everyone should take seriously mandatory private health insurance. Starting in 2025, all tourists entering Japan must show proof that they have health insurance that will cover any medical expenses while they are in the country. This is no longer an option, it is a must. If you can't show insurance, you might not be allowed to enter Japan. This is the government's response to the increasing number of tourists who leave behind large hospital bills, which becomes a problem for their health system. This rule shows that Japan is serious about protecting its medical services. In September 2024 alone, over 61 million yen, or almost $425,000, in unpaid medical bills from foreigners were recorded. Because of this, they will be stricter in enforcing the law. Having insurance is not just about following the rules, but also for our own protection. This way, if something unexpected happens, we have something to rely on, and we won't be a burden to anyone. So while we wait for the official launch of the visa for the Philippines, it's important to include travel insurance in our budget. Many companies offer it at an affordable price. Just make sure the coverage is enough for Japan's requirements. This change is a reminder that travel comes with responsibility. Being prepared is not just about packing nice clothes, but also about making sure we are safe and well while in another country. Warning to rule breakers, the new face of immigration and shopping in Japan. Besides the visa and health insurance, there's another thing Japan takes seriously: enforcing their immigration laws. The government has issued a strict warning against overstayers. Recently, in February 2025, a Filipina and 3 other Filipinos were caught in Gunma Prefecture for overstaying their visas. This is a clear message. They will no longer be lenient with those who break the law. Overstayers who are caught will face deportation and might not be able to return to Japan for life. Besides overstaying, they are also focusing on those with unpaid medical bills. They now have a system to find foreigners who have unpaid debts to hospitals. If you have such a record, there's a high chance you won't be allowed to enter their country again. This is a reminder that being a responsible tourist means settling all our obligations before leaving. Leaving problems behind not only harms our name, but also the reputation of our country. For Filipinos who love to shop, there's an important change in the tax-free shopping program. Starting April 1st, 2025, products sent to other countries through international parcel delivery will no longer be tax-exempt. And starting November 1st, 2026, the system will change. All tourists will first pay a 10% consumption tax at the time of purchase. The refund will then be claimed at the airport before leaving. This means we need to set aside a bigger budget for shopping and be more careful in keeping receipts for the refund. These rules might seem strict, but their goal is to keep things orderly and fair for everyone. For tourists who follow the rules, there's nothing to worry about. All you need to do is be informed and always follow the rules. Japan remains a great place for a vacation as long as we are good visitors. Being disciplined, a quality we admire in the Japanese, is also a quality we should show when we are in their country. How to prepare tips for a successful Japan trip in 2025. Now that we know the new rules, how do we prepare for a smooth and hassle-free Japan trip in 2025? First of all, start early. Don't wait until the last minute to apply for a visa, especially if there are new systems like eVisa that might have a bit of a learning curve. Always check the official website of the Embassy of Japan in the Philippines for the latest announcements and list of requirements. Remember, early planning is key to avoiding any problems. Second, make getting private health insurance a priority. Research different travel insurance providers and compare what they offer. Make sure the coverage is enough to meet medical needs and follows Japan's new rules. Keep a digital and physical copy of your insurance policy and always carry it with you. This is your safety net, so don't ignore it. The small cost for insurance is a small amount compared to the possible large expenses if you get sick in another country. Third, be a smart shopper. Because of the changes in tax-free shopping rules, it's important to budget your money correctly. Set aside enough money for the 10% consumption tax you'll pay first. Keep all receipts in a safe place so you can easily process your refund at the airport. Also, allow enough time at the airport before your flight for the tax refund process. Being organized will help you get your money back without problems. Finally, the most important tip is to always be a responsible tourist. Respect their culture, follow their laws, and always be polite. The Japan dream is still within reach for every Filipino. Yes, there might be new challenges, but with the right preparation and discipline, nothing is impossible. These changes are not obstacles, but a guide to make our travels more meaningful and peaceful. So plan well, pack with joy, and prepare yourself for an unforgettable experience in the land of the rising sun.